We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yes, Trap Gardner has life. Started off with that. Trap Gardner has liberty, and Trap Gardner has the right to pursue his own happiness. Good evening, I'm Mills Lane, and this is American Culture Topics. First things first, first in the chat, Miss Betty. Miss Betty gets the plug. Miss Betty, I don't know any business that you support, but I can honestly say Miss Betty is a loyal supporter of chat room she goes in, and she does not hold back. She speaks her truth. She speaks the truth. She holds the truth to be self-evident, right? So she fits in here at American Culture Topics, and we appreciate Miss Betty for joining us today. All right. So we got Laura Reds in the house. Salute the hot sauce. How y'all doing? This is American Culture Topics, and we are live. Tonight's topic: Trap Gardner culture. I mean, you never know how things go in life. And before we get to that, um, shameless plug, The Lane is another show that's on this platform. And it's a little shorter show, a little bit directed. And The Lane, I get down on some topics, and I keep saying we. And I'm going to have to learn how to stop saying we until I get a new co-host. But, I throw some topics out there, usually trending culturally or world, local, nationally, it doesn't matter. What fits down the lane, of course. So The Lane, that's right, a shameless plug nonetheless. Um, this show is also always sponsored by Watch While You Work. I got to get a picture to put that up as well. Watch While You Work Mobile Detailing, located in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's Watch While You Work. So plugs in. Miss Betty being first in the chat. Watch While You Work. The Lane. Everybody's. Let's. And I don't want to miss out on the folks that are also in here. We got Big 72C. Salute. Redemption Songs in the house. Salute. We is as we does. Okay, Mr. Hamilton. Salute you behind the bar. Salute. And thanks for all your support, sharing our stream, sharing the lane. When people say people don't support black business, I say that's bollocks. Don P in the house. Salute. All right, guys. So we're gonna move forward into the main topic. Main topic. Trap Gardner has decided to stop working on American Culture Topics. So my thoughts, I mean, why can't that leave? It don't want to leave, whatever. Let's just put it out there. He was on the show from the beginning. It was basically an idea that we both had. We talked about, the value of bringing a show to the forefront. And I'm going to invite folks because it may be a chance that I might miss something. So if you have a question, you can leave it in the chat. Hopefully I see. Or folks can cam up. But so Trap, and we kind of thought about this as an idea, and it had a message. The message was, what happens when you look at American culture not just today, but all around. And it's amazing how our idea, you can see it in other places as well. Um, I just started watching the show on Netflix called Black AF, and and it's interesting how the show, they, it's kind of goofy, but they take a second to do a little background and understanding. And I'm like, yeah, see, these are the type of things that kind of get swept under the rug by American media. So it's real important to, as gatekeepers of history, for us to make sure that we pay attention and not, let people just, all right, they'll turn whitewash, but it's the truth. Um, and that's how we got it. So me and Trap, we sat back, played our little anthems and things we did, and we said, okay, we're gonna go and do a show. And it was perfect timing because I was going through some emotional things, and Ruckus Radio Network was going through a little change, and it kind of was like perfect timing for us to go into a show, because I didn't have any promotion experience, not promotion, but production experience on YouTube. May have been in some chats running my mouth, typing and typing and typing, but I didn't really have promotion, I should say production experience. And Ruckus Radio Podcast, those guys had the production down pat. It was cool with them guys. And I said, you know what? We're going to do a show Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Felt like a perfect lane to go into. Nobody was really doing the show at 7 o'clock. They're still not, Star not on, people just, at the time. So we just did the show, and it was just calling in, and Trap be saying what he got to say, I say what I got to say, and we started learning how to, advance the show. So, oh, it's one thing you just be looking at a background all day, and but it made more sense to start learning how to produce to make it appealing to the listener slash viewer. So we ended up going and doing new things like let's find one. It'd be nice to just find something down the line. So like here's from an old show, right? And I believe we did this show on Rutgers Radio Network, and it was, so just memes, and it was fun to learn how to make memes. You got Cali Connected, aka Mr. Nason. He was a meme maker. Him, you got, Young Yellow, you know what I'm saying? Meme makers. These guys, they were like, to me, they were like the best meme makers out there. And Young Yellow, aka KT, you know what I'm saying? So we tried to learn, and I tried to learn. I just try to see if I can make it funny, you know what I'm saying? So like this one's like, Trap is like kind of fussing at Kanye, and this one Kanye came out, and Kanye was out here, making, doing goofy stuff with the Trump hat on, and I was like, yeah. So when he wear his hat, he think he looked like who that Jimmy Kimmel. So it was like, yeah, that's right, Laura Rez, the meme gang. You feel me? So and it go down like that. Put that in the chat real quick because it's funny. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, shout out to Logic. Peace, Logic. Shout out, and thanks for the donation for the lane yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and this is kind of, how we tried to promote the show. Because I guess this episode was about, let's talk about the good old days, because he was wearing the MAGA hat, and he was like, you know what? Since they want to say make America great again, let's go back to when America was great. Now that episode, which has been deleted, but whatever. um, it's just funny. I'll probably try to do something updated where it's kind of the same stuff. Like we put a MAGA hat on Martin Luther King during his he doing his mug shots. He had his mug shot, he had a MAGA hat on. It's like just having fun, you know what I mean? And learning that lane of trolling. Don't have to, we didn't have to go after other networks because we never thought it made any sense to go after another network because they trying to do their thing. So it's like, okay, go ahead and do y'all thing. And it was basically my job. Like I have to update Trap about what's going on out there because on the Ruckus Radio Network, you would have people would actually leave, and go somewhere else and start talking nasty. Who deleted the show? It was on the Ruckus Radio Network, Miss Betty, and that show is no longer on that network. Probably a little vulgar for what they doing over there. And I go over there all the time, and he doesn't keep the live shows up. He pretty much takes the live shows and he moves them to his secondary channel, Team Ruckus Presents. So a lot of shows are over there instead of on the Ruckus Radio Network, who's doing well with 8K subs right now. You feel what I'm saying? All right. We got Ivan G up in the house. Salute, Ivan G. And hope you saw my comment, Ivan, to respond to your comment. It's Mills' way. You feel me? Uh, Mills don't talk about nobody else no more. Nobody wants Mills talking about them. So, but moving forward, unless they want me to talk about them, you feel me? It's a respect thing out here. So this is our lane. We just like to have entertainment. We like to entertain the folks. You know what I'm saying? And we're started in the era of Trump. You feel me? That's right, respectfully. We started in the era of Trump, and it was like wasn't going to be an every week thing talking about Trump. Like, that's lazy. The real media does that. That's how they make their money. It's kind of lazy to us, but it just made sense that just make fun, have fun, talk about different topics every week, and because it's a lot going on out here. Like this was one of my favorite episodes right here, and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do this again. The hip hop culture because for an hour show there's not a lot. I mean, not a lot, but we pretty much tap on the surface of a lot of things that goes on, and you know we had to get it in. Hip hop is American culture, you know what I mean? And here's a scene from the movie House Party, but it's the dancing aspect. We broke down the break dancing. We broke down, where it started from, the rhythm, the Bronx aspect, the, beatbox. We broke it all down and it was fun. And Trap did his part, you know what I'm saying? Because it's stuff that I didn't know, of course. And that's the best part about Trap being on this show. It was I my history only went so far back, like on a full scale. You know what I'm saying? Trap could take it, and salute to those watching us on Facebook on the Mills Lane Facebook page. Trap was able to take it to another level that and it was entertaining, and y'all knew he was speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because he would say something, I would look at the chat, and like we were talking about Turban Man one time, and he was saying something like, "Yeah, may you always sharpen your swords," and Ruckus, who's an Indian, sometimes Dominicans. I'm messing with him, but he knew exactly what that meant. I had no clue, and it's Trap's wisdom and knowledge that always kept this show respectful because we hold these truths. You know what I'm saying? And that truth is the part that I respect the most, and that I know y'all knew y'all will always get from this station, whether it's from my mouth or Trap. We never coming in here being on disrespect time. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to the people. Now, okay, G'd up Quinn, you the hip hop historian. Guess who I'm calling when I do another hip hop show? You feel me? so, so this is how it is, and it was all going smooth. It was all going smooth. And 15 minutes in, it was all going smooth. Something happened. That's a that's a good question, Miss Betty. No, he did not sit on his porch in the winter. And from some of the old episodes, like I would go to his house and we would sit there and record the show that way, so that we both, didn't have to step over the top of each other while we were talking. Then it's a lot to get through in that spirit and time amount. So, I would have things set up, and it wasn't till recently when he started going on the porch. And because of thanks to the pandemic, I could no longer go and do the show from over at from the track. You feel me? Because it was cool. He probably is, because on these YouTube streets, it was really my job to continuously update him on YouTube streets. So Trap knows about the slap. Trap knows about Jihad getting punched by Queen's Flip. Yeah, Trap knows about that stuff. And but he not watching these shows. That's my job. It's my job to keep him up to the current events, so that we would always know, what's going on. Salute the King Twin. You see what I'm saying? And it was definitely his job. Is Trap about to make his own page? He got his own page. He had a one video on there, and I always encouraged him. I wanted him to, fall and stay in that gardening aspect, because I was like, yo, you Trap Gardner, you actually garden. You should do that on your page. So maybe he does that. How we met, co-workers. So we both chased the bag at the same spot, and we just go after the bag together, and we sit back and look, do what we got to do, say what we got to say. Not too many workplace culture episodes, because the workplace knows who we are. Sometimes some of them show up in there in the chat. Some of them watch. Salute to them too. All right, I see it moving. Nah, we don't live near each other, but Philly is a small town, so even Philly and the surrounding areas, it don't take much time to get nowhere. Yeah. So this is a good neutral site with all the hate going on. Ivan G, that's what I had to preach to him, and I had to tell Trap. I said, we not going to do that over here. If somebody has an issue with me, I've had issues. I've had some nonsense, and I try to keep it away from the platform. But it's salute the bonnet. I'm messing with him. But yeah, I've had issues, but it was never meant for American culture topics. And you're touching on some of the key points about why Trap's not on the show, or at least my thoughts on why Trap's not on the show. Because Trap made some decisions, and it's cool to make decisions, because once again, freedom. I'm going to respect his First Amendment right, because I don't want to know what his Second Amendment right all about. Right? And I say that for me, so I say that for him too. and it's nice. Beefing? Who beefing? Nah. We not beefing. Well, depends on what I say tonight, right? Let me be real. It depends on what I say tonight. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? Are we gonna be beefing each other? Nah, I don't think we're gonna be beefing each other. And just some of the things that it just was it made sense. It was a lane that nobody was dealing with. And first of all, beefing off of YouTube, hmm, my opinion on that, because I am one of these people that likes black people so much that I cut y'all some serious slack all the time. I mean, I cut some serious slack. And because I understand the pain that black people have to live with. Now, black people want to try to get over on me, that's a no-no. But I'm not gonna just smack you. I have to really look at you like, does this determine a slap? Yeah, Lansky getting slapped, that was a determined slap because he was doing something called mouthing off. So your mouth off and say you don't care, you make it get slapped. All right. Where we going? Where we going here? I believe you. Did you spill his Jared? Oh, we get off the camera. Yo, yo. Tread lightly. Nah, because we hold these truths to be self-evident on American culture topics. And tonight's topic is Trap Gardner culture. So let's get into Trap Gardner culture. What does he think? Yo, that's funny. I had to stop for that one. So what have we been doing for the past couple years? Like I said, how it started at Ruckus Radio, and even into when we moved it over to this channel, I wanted to be a visual show. So I'm like, hey, we're gonna be on camera. I mean, I know people know our faces off the memes and stuff, but we're gonna be on camera. And he was okay being on camera, and he didn't have to look at these chats. Check it out. See comments coming in like Logic made the comment about him looking like he could be related to Prezi. You know what I'm saying? That comment he don't know nothing about. Hey, I don't know nothing. Only reason Ivan G deserved to get slapped for proclaiming he's a Cowboys fan. You see, that's how we get down over here. It's humor, and we keep it pushing. But Eagles all day, by the way. But yeah, so he didn't see these chats. He didn't know what y'all were talking about. And people be in the chat, I definitely will step up and say things and make fun of them, like you see on the meme. He talking about, yeah, Pimp had been around since Eve. Got finessed by the snake and all that. And I was like, yeah, Trap was there to witness. You know what I mean? Just having fun. I would provide all of that and catch all the hell because you guys didn't have to worry about it. You feel what I'm saying? Shouldn't have made fun of his depends. See, that's the stuff right there. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that he ain't had to worry about for years. And I would tell him about some stuff. We had some folks who MSV, Master Shock Value. I ain't seen him in a minute. And we had people that would be in our chat and they don't rock with other people in the chat. So they would just stop watching the show. I'm like, you're going to stop supporting the show because you don't like somebody in the chat? Ain't nobody kicking you out the chat, but it is a chat. And I'm, sad to say, I'm from an era in a chat room where you feel, that's right, Don P. I'm from an era in the chat room where We talked and we got down for our crown. And if you didn't want to deal with somebody saying something, you just ignored them. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what y'all. You can go snitch to them on YouTube. I don't care what y'all did, but you should be here for the show. We should be rocking on the show, and that's how I always felt about it. And once again, he didn't have to see none of this. And damn right, he's entertaining. That's why he did. Like I said, he provided a level of humor and knowledge that I didn't have. Now, will I take my time and try to work on it? Yes, because I'm definitely gonna bring it in. Salute to Jamaria. Jamaria, yeah, make sure I'm gonna get with you so you can send me some of your stuff because you got a business, and I'm down for folks in the business. Like I said, Watch While You Work is our #1 sponsor, and I got to speak on them. But hey, y'all got a business. I'm down to support any business that's not depends. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about no damn depends. Salute Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I won't support nobody's business without their consent. There you go. Yeah, and this is what he didn't have to see. I would tell him about folks. I would tell him about and once again, salute to those in the Facebook room. I appreciate y'all for joining us as well. He didn't have to worry about the chat and or camming up people. We had one episode where I did the thing with the I say here people come into the chat or you can cam up, right? And I was like, yo, cam up, salute D holla. And y'all know who cammed up. He cam up everywhere he allowed to cam up. The crab. So the crab cammed up and his connection was so terrible and Trap was giving him that work and then his connection went away and that was the end of it. And so I thought it was something to be okay with. What's up, Bonnet? We were talking about you earlier. Say, no, go ahead, man. But so the crab cammed up. This was pre him dropping the N-word on Labudo, by the way. But so that all that happened, and he handled it, and I was like, yes, with this streaming service, sometimes you're gonna have people that they're gonna join the show, and maybe they'll say some things, and you just got to be ready to just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we street dudes. You know what I'm saying? We from the streets. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna say we street dudes. I'm gonna say we from the streets. There you go. And we seen the hardships of the streets. We did episodes on the black culture. We've done episodes on and things in that nature. And we deal with it because it's part of what we got to do to be an American culture topic host. All this stuff has to get addressed. You know what I'm saying? And for years, yes, this is called promotion via humor. You know what I mean? That's all I always felt about. I always thought humor was the best. Laughter is the best medicine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got enough. We all got enough stuff outside of this YouTube to worry about and be concerned about and deal with. Hey, Jamara, being for real. I always asked him, did he want to do episodes? A couple of weeks ago, he didn't want to do episodes, and I'm like, all right, I was ready, so I just kind of winged the episode, and Labuto came up, and he started talking crazy as he does on everybody's platform, and just something that it happened. I've done a couple of episodes by myself. And learning how to do them over time, being, able to continue the words, not just, falling back and stuff like that, where I could get confused, have my notes together, have everything I need to say together in order. and things of that nature. Wow, I done did 30 minutes and I ain't say nothing negative yet. See, I knew this could this not it's not that type of issue. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that type of issue to where he was he was leaving being angry. You know what I'm saying? And it's some of the stuff that just has to be done. You know what I mean? So why? There it go, right there, Miss Betty. And that is one of the things I think about as I move into why did he decide to step away from the show? So, once again, for years, safe. Safe from what? Safe from the effery, right? I curse, but sometimes I don't like to curse because it's like I'm losing words. But yes, safe from the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? This is a safe place for him. He just, yeah, yeah, Mills. It's crazy out here. It's crazy, and them, insert other race people caused so much problems for my people. And then we laugh and move on. You feel me? So seeing the chats, started seeing people talk and laugh. Oh yes, the troll aspect, right? Seeing the chats and seeing the troll aspect pushed him into a spot where he didn't feel comfortable being on the show anymore. And, salute to everybody that's been watching us recently and those who've been watching us from day one. Because as you can see, like our subscribers used to hang around 30 and now we up to like 160 something, and it's great. And I appreciate every one of them. That's why I take the time to talk to everybody and keep it pushing because it's part of, the network aspect. And change is change. Sometimes it's cool to step away and then come back stronger. Big facts. That's why I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm not here to trash this guy. I just wanted to know, and he really wouldn't give me an answer that I agreed with. And is that being egotistical? Not for this. My issue was I didn't understand some of the issues that he was bringing up. So last week's episode, we were talking about celebrity activism culture. And we were talking about Muhammad Ali. And I said, I had made a statement. I left an open statement, whereas I wasn't trying to talk about um, the name of the person, but everybody knew I was talking about who hung out with Muhammad Ali. It was Malcolm X. But I was like, yeah, he hung out with that X fella. And somebody in the chat said DMX. And I'm like, okay. Oh, that's a nice troll statement. Like, and I kind of brushed it off like, somebody's uneducated in the chat, you know. And it kind of stuck with Trap. He kind of talked to me about it after. He's like, yo, this fool in here saying DMX. I think, I'm like, it's a troll. So you gotta know how to handle trolls. And if you're somebody who wants to do this type of platform in the future, check out the Ranters Union and the Morning Rant. Ja handles trolls well. On some like, I would give this man a PhD for handling trolls. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of how you got to do it. You just talk to them and you keep it going. You know what I mean? And it's just something. He got triggered by the dude saying DMX, man. But what I did notice behind the scenes, he had some people that know him started watching the show. And we want the people that we know, friends, family, or whatever, to watch the show too. And I think that person that was watching the show was probably looking up to him. And so it's, it's not like one of his siblings. It's probably somebody who was looking up to him and they were seeing some of the goofiness going on in the chat while we're still talking. And I kind of like, I let the DMX thing go. I was like, ain't no DMX. Somebody uneducated in the chat. We were talking about Malcolm X, and he got offended by it, and that starts this. It starts with a snowflake, start rolling down the hill to the snowball. So another thing that happened was there was a discussion about other celebrities, activists. He decided to bring up a guy, former NFL player, Hall of Fame NFL player, Marvin Harrison. He brought up and as somebody who's a good celebrity activist. Um, we've had discussions about him previously, and we actually said we would never bring him up on the show because he has history in Philadelphia, and it's not the goody history as far as in the media in Philadelphia. He has some bad press, and where he was alleged on things, serious things. So we were like, we're never gonna mention him. But when he was brought up, Trap decided to bring him up. I was playing and trolling Trap because he decided to bring him up. So I stopped the show and I was like, I gave like a statement. I was like, okay, Mills Lane does not, thoughts does or Trap Gardner thoughts does not reflect Mills Lane and anything. So I gave him that speech, when you want somebody to know that, hey, you're on your own with this one. And he ain't say nothing negative about the guy. But what did happen was somebody in the chat brought up some of the negative stuff about Marvin Harrison. And I put it on the screen and he got offended. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's something from the chat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to stop real quick for Bonnet. Bonnet, I was saying how I've had issues on the YouTube, but it never made it to this show. That's all. I had nothing. So if any issues that we might have had, it wasn't on this show. I would never make a show about anybody I had issues with. That's it. Old stuff. So moving right along, he got offended by the comment that somebody made in the chat. I think it was Dak, but made in the chat about Marvin Harrison, and he got offended. And I said, see, this is exactly why I thought we wasn't supposed to mention this guy. Somebody can say something that can irritate you. I didn't know that it was going to irritate you if you saw it. So more snow. See what I'm saying? So, and this is somebody that's watching the show, seeing that they may feel like he's being played, which is not the situation. But once again, how often do they watch the show? Like I said, we make memes, right? Here's some memes of us, Halloween. Hey, happy Halloween, right? Make memes. Sometimes they funny. I want them all to be funny, but everything can't be funny. Here's like a hey, vote culture. Hey, let's talk about voting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff happens, but you have maybe some of the newer memes might have irritated the folks. So here's another old one. This was when we did porn culture. A pretty funny episode. So just out here having fun. Alright. Salute to Mr. Weary. You know what I'm saying? Alright, Bonnet. That's right. Everything's still cool. I'm gonna just say real quick, free Keenan Kong. All right, I'm done. But so it kind of irritated me that he got irritated. It's now that might be a little bit egotistical on my end right there. So I have to think about it like that. But at the same time, I'm realizing he was shielded from comments in the chat. He was shielded, but even when we first started, he wasn't reading any comments. He was basically just on a phone. So he didn't have to, he wasn't on screen. So he was shielded from that. And he never had a problem being on screen. You know what I'm saying? He'd come out, whatever he wearing, you know, whatever he doing, drinking, eating on the camera. Sometimes when he's making a comment, he'll stop and talk to the neighbors. I definitely tried to address on the show lightly, address after the show, like, hey, but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't nothing to stop doing the show. Some of the moments are funny, but if he starts saying something and somebody in the chat calls him a snitch, he's gonna get offended. So being shielded all that time, I think it was the big difference. I'm conflicted on this job. I'm conflicted on this issue. On one hand, we come from a school of trolls, come with the territory. On the other, the trolls are worth us not having Trap on the show. Oh, see, the thing is, Trap made the decision. This is Trap. We did a show on troll culture. You know what I'm saying? So he knows, like I said, he knows about the troll aspect. I've told him about some of the trolls I had to deal with, the serious trolls. I've told him about, how I troll. So, but he was, like I said, being shielded from all of that, because the first thing he'll tell me, hey man, I'm not getting in the middle of none of that stuff. Especially when we were on Ruckus Radio. It's like, I'm not getting in the middle of none of that stuff. I was like, you ain't gotta worry about that. You're not getting in the middle of none of that stuff. So, and that's kind of how it stayed. And that's how I try to practice that today. Like, I'm close to being in the middle of some stuff. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not going to be in the middle of none of this stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of people in here because it's drama. I don't do drama. There's some type of drama for some reason. But because it is a little bit of drama, because I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened. So when I put all of that together, all the attitudes that he started displaying based on, I think, somebody that looks up to him watching the show, and he wanted to take a turn and be professional. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna be professional, stop eating on the camera, or do this when it's time to take a drink. Just like that. Mute yourself. That's it right there. He hated when I muted him, and I told him I muted you because you weren't bringing anything to the show. You were talking to somebody outside, and it's kind of, these are like 101s. These are things that I learned in other channels. I didn't have to learn them in other channels. It's just etiquette for trying to deliver a show. And he didn't like me muting him. And, I can respectfully say that that's a true statement. And I told him, I won't mute you if you, unless you're doing something that could potentially cause conflict to the show. I didn't really want his neighborhood to be a part of the show. So, wow, we did this for our last episode on Ruckus Radio. And Ruckus was like, yo, y'all not rocking with us no more. I was like, come on, man, that ain't how it go down with me. I'm real with those who real with me. So the second you start being fake to me, I'm going to sniff it out, and then I'm going to back off. Mills way. So anyway, keeping up with all of the greatness, I hope I'm catching the questions. I hope I caught the questions. Man, am I on mute? Who am I? Sometimes cats go on mute. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. It's a lot up. See, and some of that's going on in there. And I'm like, I see situations, but I know we're all adults here, and we're gonna be able to keep it real, keep it trill. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and wow. So I gave this a nice amount. Um, yeah, I don't. The next time I see Trap, is it on site? No, I don't have no ill feelings to Trap. See, yeah, we was wearing masks before everybody. We was ahead of COVID. You feel me? And we go out like that. You feel me? That's how I go down, man. I'm gonna be upset. The reason I'm upset because I lost my co-host. You know what I'm saying? Off of some, like, to me, it feels like nothing, but at the same time, I'm not him. And how do I understand the dynamics of what's irritating him at this time? So I brought out my reasons that I think he left. He's told me the things that's irritated him, and a lot of that's been recently. Oh, and finally, it was the Labuto. Uh, I did, but at the same time, I defended myself, and I also defended the show, and I defended what we're trying to do here. So it's kind of wild that it went that way. Like I said, when the donations came in, he always got his money. Everything was always ironed out. I treated him like he owned 50% of the show the whole time because it was it was me wanting to present it to the world, but I'm like, I knew I couldn't do it without him when we started. So that was always how it was going to be, and that's how I look at it. That's that's false. Get out of here with them lies behind the bar. All right, yeah, I'm definitely, I appreciate everybody that's here, and I'm gonna keep rocking and keep doing what I gotta do. We gonna, yeah, dang right, you look like Morgan Freeman, because one time we took one of them Facebook apps and took his picture and was like, well, what celebrity you look like? Yeah, Morgan Freeman showed up, popped up with these big googly eyes. Yeah, I want to do. I even had that picture. Yeah, I think, and this man is in a different generation than all of us. Let's just be real. Like, he from the era where you picked up the phone and said, "Hello, operator." You're talking to the switchboard. You feel what I'm saying? So from that to online chats, that's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And I never forget that. Like I said, I appreciated him being, you know, true. He definitely stayed true. And that's it. He got irritated. He was true in his irritation. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm glad this ain't, we didn't have to do this show on some, you know, you know what I'm saying. And this how it go down, man. It go down like this, and this for some might be a lesson in how to actually, cease a YouTube relationship. I don't, I'm not an expert on ending YouTube relationships or nothing, but this can be a guide maybe for some people out there who may have had a falling out with somebody, and maybe you can just had a discussion. It doesn't have to be on camera, that first discussion. You can have that first discussion behind the scenes. If you got StreamYard, you can just link up. You can link up on Zoom, whatever. Pick up a phone, you know. But there's ways to end YouTube relationships and stuff like that. And if he comes back, definitely welcome him with open arms. You feel what I'm saying? I never sit back and act like he can't come back on the show. Like I said, he pretty much is his 50% of the idea. So we definitely, I definitely respecting, but I just wanted him to know I had thoughts on some of his thoughts, and there's ways to deal with trolls. There's ways to, deal with that aspect of being famous. Because he told me, and I said famous, he told me he was already famous before this. And I believe him. And I know that history. If you ever listen to our show, when we talk about some of the most famous things that happened in Philadelphia, yeah, he was there. He was signing that Declaration of Independence. Well, no, I'm sorry. They ain't let him in for that. So, Trap Gardner, I raise my cup to your contribution to American Culture Topics. Everybody that's been here, whether they liked me or not, because there's some people that don't like me, they respect you on American Culture Topics. So that's where I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it on American Culture Topics. Now, let's be real, Trap. There's some things. You might be talked about again by me. Just might be. It won't be an episode or anything, but it may take a while because you're going to represent the older black fella in American culture. So if your name comes up, don't feel bad about it, okay? Or if you do feel bad about it, send me a Cash App telling me what went wrong. All right. Dang sure gonna miss this dude. Strawberry wine, cranberry pomegranate juice. Where vodka? Yeah, that's right. Everybody is putting up. They salute the traps. So this is how I go down, bro. All right. I didn't come here to roast you today. This was the easy one. All right. Now, the next topic: this day in U.S. history. Oh, and real quick, online chat. Oh no, I'm not gonna go into online chat. We pretty much surfaced that. We surfaced that up. Um, I understand the importance of online chat and how everybody can lose their mind and how we're all adults. You know what? Not a bad idea. Why don't you talk to that lady? Say, let me stop. Me and that lady can have a show one day. I would enjoy that show. Um, yo, you know what I mean? I was asking him if he wanted to leave contact information. He could. The young man he does have an Instagram. I think at Trap Gardner. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where we going? Where we going? Yeah. Next Thursday. I hope he do come back. You know what I'm saying? Come back. Uh-oh. Salute to behind the bar. Behind the bar, you know, he cool, but he was still trapped like he stole a mod. I'm messing with him. Lala Bay, what's happening? Thank you so much, and I will definitely keep going. That's all I've been hearing from anybody I've been telling about this, to keep going. And yeah, it's not falling on deaf ears. Nobody. The show must go on. Trap Gardner rocking out in his fancy get up. I popped all of these? Yes, I did. I popped all of these. Yeah. And it fits. All fits. I like enjoying making the memes. I enjoy the show. We definitely Appreciate everybody for joining in tonight. Oh yeah, I was gonna get in the next topic. Um, this day in history, September 10th, 1987, the first drunk driver arrested. So, yes, these cups with this nice beverage in them, nice in moderation, but sometimes, all the time, us Americans, we like to indulge a little bit extra with these beverages, which is not a bad thing. But the number one thing we have to do is not get behind the wheel of a car. As you've seen on the lane, some things can happen when you get behind the wheel of a car.
Kind of a weird thing happening here with Giannis. He's still putting up unbelievable numbers, and he's still an unstoppable force, but he's a little out of control, like anger-wise. You see the headbutt the other day? Yeah. He's had a couple of those kind of things. In the bubble? Yeah, he's had like 2 or 3 different situations where he either cheap shotted a guy or kind of got into a mini scuffle.
That's right. Mills Lane gets behind the wheel at some crazy times, and live to tell the tale so far, right? But had I been on alcohol, that scene would have been a lot different. And so the United States needed to step up their enforcement on people that were drinking. And early on in 1936, they figured out that they can monitor your alcohol intake by way of your breath and the levels of alcohol that you have taken. But of course, lawyers would just beat that, saying, "Hey, it's not that easy. You can beat the system. The system's flawed." So they kept developing and developing and developing, and finally, breathalyzers were put out there to shut down. You feel what I'm saying? Was that a goat? Nah, those was deer, man. It was just them deer, a little bit young deer. It just was funny because they was talking about sports talk, talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks, and here comes some young bucks running across the street in front of me. But I just felt that was so ironic. But anyway, yeah, I try to make them videos and just respecting, trying to respect my road and my road rage. Oh gosh, that's not nice. John Hamilton said Bambi, yeah, right. um, so yeah, so now the breathalyzer has been invented, and people still to this day go out and drive drunk. Um, I'm not going to say I never did because that would be a lie. Um, I had some fun on some New Year's Eves, and I've been out there driving, and luckily it wasn't no long distances. And yes, I've done it, but I prefer not to do it. Thanks to the advent of things like Uber and Lyft, and there's more chances for you not to do it than not to risk it. So be very careful out there, because the first drunk driving arrest was on September 10th, 1987. The last just happened, and it continues to happen. I remember being a kid watching the SAD and MAD, like the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We hear about this just all too often. So it's a very important thing that we have to be mindful of, as to not drink and drive. So that was that. Now, it is football season. I'm not going to be like, hey, watch me instead of the show, football. It is an hour. I did the service of the job. We discussed Trap Gardner culture. We also talked about this day in history. I didn't see any new questions, which is fine. It looks like it's a lot of banter between YouTube, issues, which, for those who don't indulge, most of us just sit back and eat popcorn. But every once in a while, I get pulled in. I talk about a couple people and, have some fun doing it as well. with all that being said, for Mills Lane, thank you so much for joining us here on American Culture Topics. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Um, and I'm not going to say I'm looking for co-hosts, but I am interested in getting to know some folks, and maybe we can have a topic we can discuss together, and we can do that. Um, I like to have fun. I like to be funny. I like to bring that facts, being factual, bring in that information. Oh gosh. Let me throw them up. All right. Uh-huh. Whoa. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So salute to all of y'all, okay? Because I do it for y'all too, definitely. And enjoy the rest of your evening with liberty and justice for all. Peace and blessings.